Alrighty, so where were we? That's right, we were going to declare war on the yellow guys. The yellow guys who I can never pronounce the name of. I do not like them, not one bit. So, let's see. We've got 2 stacks of about 30,000 troops. I'm pretty sure that'll be enough. I mean, the gap here has been like 10 minutes, and I completely forgot whether or not I was going to hire more guys. I think I'm going to go with what we've got, because I'm not too concerned about the Indians. We out-tech them. We are obviously westernized. We should be okay. Even if they bring a massive, massive army, I think we'll be alright. So I did watch the video that I just recorded, like the end bit back, and I didn't actually express what my goal with this whole war is going to be. So we'll do the whole war decking. We have no diplomats, of course. I'm a fool. We'll recall Conrad from Polotsk. And while he's on the way back, I will explain what exactly it is that I plan to do with this whole conflict. So the idea here is not to actually take land. The idea is to force them to split into various smaller nations. And I did not mean to unpause with that. Popularization of silk fabrics, you say? Silk has been in high demand throughout the world since long before the Middle Ages, and its procurement was one of the driving forces behind the voyages of discovery in the East. With the greater availability of silk, both raw and woven, the demand for silk cloth in the West is soaring ever higher. Price of silk changes by positive 25% until the 2nd of January 1821, so the end of the game. So silk will be a lot more valuable now than it was. I'm actually going to hold off on the war declaration, because that fleet is getting pummeled, and if I don't have to deal with it, that makes me happy. I will, however, call back our Indian fleet, so stop patrolling, and return to Cormoran Cape. And while they're on the way back, oh hey, it's doing that thing again, where it goes, those previous status effects you had that didn't actually go away, they're coming back. So, as I was trying to say, the goal of this war will be to split up the area of India into a lot of smaller nations and establish protectorates over them. So, let's get on with that. Wait, what did you do? We have gained a conquest casus belli against Russia. Oh, right. Denmark still wants us to take stuff. I don't really want to. I'm okay, thank you. Glory to us. 5 prestige, that is never a bad thing. I will totally take it, and then I will pause again, because we are going to declare that war. So, our casus belli is obviously going to have to be conquest, because we didn't complete an ideas group that gives us the ability to declare war on them simply for not being us. That is actually the expansion ideas group, which I'm not sure I'm going to go for. I might, because I like the whole diplomatic relations cap being higher, but I'm not overly sold on it, because a lot of the benefits come from actually expanding when you've got competition, and I'm deliberately not going over to America because I'm hoping that there will be a few larger tribes by the time we get there, and then it'll organically just kind of expand into a set of countries that will make for an interesting Victoria 2 game for the colonies that we set up over there. So I'm not overly concerned about getting an extra colonist, but I would like the ability to just declare war without having to fabricate a conquest casus belli. Anyway, we were going to actually declare that war. So the goal will be to take Madurai. We will not call our allies because frankly we don't need them, and Norway would not come because it's a distant war, and I don't think they could even get here if they wanted to, because they don't know that you can go around the Cape. So anyway, declare a war. So I will send you to besiege here. Legio Indus will take this province, and Legio Ceylon will take Madurai. Let's do it. And hopefully we'll be able to maintain this blockade. So we are currently fighting them while they're at war with somebody else, and they do have a fairly large army on hand, but as you can see, from the relative tech disparity, they're at military level 12 and they're less advanced than us. Now, I could also be taking care of that whole colonialism thing, but I don't really have that much of a rush to send my colonists out to get new stuff, mainly because I'd rather deal with one thing at a time. I guess maybe if I can see somewhere that they could colonize. No, and I'm not sure I want to colonize these places because, I'll just pause for a second. I'm not sure that I want westernized island nations, because it's very, very early in the game. Like, it's not ridiculously early in the game, it is the 1600s, but if I go and colonize places sitting next to these countries now, they'll be westernized, and then I'll have to fiddle around with the files, and I guess I could do that anyway and make them like uncivilized nations in Victoria 2, but that seems like hamstringing them for the sake of hamstringing them, when it's easier just to not colonize near them and roleplay it as, you know, we have our possessions, we know where we want to go, those places seem kind of nice, but we'll leave them for later. So we just picked up another idea. We picked up international nobility, which I forgot to read. International relations are a tricky business. Some say that the merchant class who are used to dealing with foreigners are best for this. Those who say this ignore the kindred ties that our noble families have established throughout the years, and these ties should be taken advantage of to help our cause diplomatically. So we've got an extra diplomat, which is good, because that means I can send somebody back to Polotsk to butter them up. I don't really have to, they like us well enough. I mean, if we were allies with them and we stood by them, like, you know, just improving our relations for a long enough time, they'd probably accept vassalization. They'd be pretty open to that, and I might take them up on it. Maybe. I might offer it if Russia looks like it's going to just come and steamroll Polotsk, because I got a soft spot for them. They survived. They managed to, you know, exist until the end of CK2, if I remember correctly. They were very, very small. They weren't anything particularly fantastic. But if I remember rightly, they did survive, and I'd like to look after them. They're like our long-lost cousins or something. We also got good government policies, which is either get more stability, which would be cool, invest the money in our government, we'll be alright. Or we can fill the treasury with money. I'm not too concerned about the money, because we're not spending a whole lot, and we'll earn more as we trade stuff and that sort of thing. So I'm going to go with stability, because that will also increase our money, because it increases the taxes that we get. Good news, everyone, and the siege is over. So we will... Whoa, hey, whoa, hey, now, what did you do? Alright, let's see. A throne inherited. So we picked up all of Denmark. Interesting. I am kind of happy about this, but sort of not at the same time, because it means now we have to administrate Denmark. My Imperatrix, your charm has certainly done wonders for our nation. Thanks to you, we have inherited the throne of Denmark. Charm and beauty are sometimes as effective as cannons. I'm disappointed because Anastasia was pretty good. She was fairly amazing. But William's not too bad. I mean, he's a little crap on the whole diplomatic front, but he's a good administrator, and he's a good soldier, so that's not too bad. My only concern is that because he's so young, we did not get a legal heir straight away. So, William First de Harcourt, his good leadership skills and superior tactical knowledge will help us to vanquish those that dare stand against us. Well, good news, William, you've inherited a war that's going to be very, very easy to win, so that's not too bad. And we broke even on the whole stability thing, so I'm okay with this. It could have been better. And of course, they are unhappy with us. So what does that mean? Well, it means we inherited all of this. And while I'm not overly concerned, I do not like the AI building so many goddamn boats. So what we're going to do is we are going to destroy 90% of their fleet. I mean, we'll keep the stuff that could be kind of useful, but we're not going to keep Actually, it's really easy because all of our ships are sitting at home because I've told them to go home during time of war. Well, that makes things simple. Everybody, come back over here. First order of business, to change the culture. So it'll take 192 months, which is a very, very long time. I don't know if we can increase that. Probably not. But 20 or so years, that's not too bad. And we won't worry about their armies too much, because they should be fine. I'm going to probably just march them all to one place and then combine them. Actually, no. You are going to go over to Stockholm. Can you make it to Stockholm? No. Alright. This complicates things. On the plus side, we have cores on most of these things. On the negative, we've inherited a lot of provinces that do not share our religion. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. I thought they'd have a few more problem spots, but that's good. I'm happy with this. This is excellent. So, did we inherit claims? No. Well, that's not a bad thing. I'm okay with that. We now have 2 free diplomats, which is good. We're already making nice with the Norwegians, so let's make nice with the Poles. I mean, there's no real reason not to. And we do currently have somebody of our dynasty on the throne. So I'm okay with this. Let's go make them happy. We still have 1 diplomat left over, and he can make peace with the Yellow Indian guys when we are done conquering what we want. Speaking of which, we should go back to doing that. We've discovered that Polotsk does not want to... Oh, okay. Well, if they don't want that, that's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot. Royal marriages. That's something we want to do. You already have one with us. Excellent. Polotsk. Let's be royally married. And how's Gotland doing? I mean, they're not the worst people in the world, but I still kind of want to beat them up. I mainly want to beat them up so I can give Polotsk a little bit more land. And I mean, I know some of you have said in the comments, hey, why are you propping up small nations? Why are they there? Because they make the game interesting, alright? They intrigue me. I like them. I like seeing what small nations do when given the chance. So Poland is the only country with the disputed succession, which is not too bad. I mean, we might be able to get something out of that. The Ile-de-France speech. This is one we've seen before. Do we want the manpower or the administrative power? I think the administrative power, because that'll give us the option to increase another idea group, and we'll deal with that in a second. So we'll just pause for a sec. Madurai has fallen, which is good because it means I can replace this small 17 stack going over there with the 29. And the idea that we can invest in is Humanist tolerance, which is really, really good because it completes the entirety of the Humanist idea group and makes all ideas cheaper. So let's go with that. Yes. We have unlocked the idea Humanist tolerance. By striving towards a more tolerant society and making attempts at solving our social and religious problems in more rational ways, the risk of civil disorder will diminish. Good news, everyone. Tolerance of heathens has gone up. So that should make it easier for us to deal with, well, religion and social issues, as they said. That might even kickstart our conversion. No? It's a damn shame. And of course, idea costs minus 10%, which means when we need to do this again, we can get away with just paying 360. I like it. Alright, so let's see how we're doing here. Pretty good, all things considered. Pretty good. I'm happy with it. Let's see what we're doing. Ooh. Is this the really good one? I can't remember if this is the really, really good option or not. No, it's not. Well, that's a shame. A child in the reeds. Suddenly something startles the animal, and before you have time to fire, it is long gone. You look around you. The water in the small creek reflects the sunlight of a perfect day, and the reeds wave slowly before a light breeze. Is that laughter? You realize now what had startled the animal. In a cradle, floating among the reeds, lies a laughing little boy. Judging by his smile, you'd say that he's never known fear in his life. Now, the reasonable thing to do is to say, hey, you can come home with me. I might not adopt you as my heir, but hey, you can come home with me. In this case, because the heir is going to be ridiculously crap, I'm gonna have to go with where did that deer go and gain $5. I want to have a heir. I would love an heir, but I don't want a shitty heir. I mean, I'd like a shitty heir if he was a strong claim heir, but no, I'm not taking that guy. He has nothing to recommend him. No good qualities whatsoever. Now, hopefully, this province will fall, and then we can march back, kill that, grab this, and then just start moving up in a concentrated wave. I'm not sure whether I want to reinforce Legio Arabia. Maybe? Oh, we won 2 sieges at the same time. I approve of this mightily. Go over here, and then go and take this province. I think it's Mysore? I can't remember. Oh, I attacked you across a river and everything. Sucks to be you. It is Mysore. A fortress is under siege. Kongu. Well, that's okay. We can deal with that. We should be able to go march over there and kill everything relatively quickly. We might even be able to do it with the army in Mysore, if the rolls are good enough. Come on. A 10 is good. There's a 21% chance of this province falling, well, this month. Oh, not quite as good a news as I was hoping for. We should probably send our boats over here if we can. No, we can't. Yeah, because it's Terra Incognita. That's a shame. Well, on the plus side, we can send them up here and help hold the coast. And you are done. Fortification effort. Yes, I will pay the 50 ducats because I would really like to have good fortifications. You can go sit in Kongu because really all we want to do is hold the line right now. We don't particularly want to go and conquer stuff. I mean, this war is not a big deal to me. It can go on as long as I need it to. We can apparently convert a province, and we will. I would like Trakai to be converted back to the one true faith. Thank you kindly. That would indeed be good. Actually, speaking of, how are things going on that front? Are we converting places? It'd be nice if I had this list organized. We are actually, but not... Ooh, oh dear. Nathaniel Septimus has died. Septimius. Oh, that's a shame. Well, we must replace him. Who can we replace him with? Statesman Domitian? Domitian sounds closer to right. Raphael, welcome to the team. Congratulations on your promotion. How are we doing actually on that front? 12, 10, and 8. That's pretty good. I'm pleased with this. Although Raymond is probably gonna die. He's gonna kick the bucket in like 5 seconds. Most likely, because, you know, that's my luck. But we'll deal with him. Sienne University, the class of 1618. What do we do? Do we send it to the administration, or do we gain prestige? We're gaining prestige from conquering things, so I'm going to take the administration. A revolt? Not a revolt. Are we going to be able to deal with this? I think so, because they didn't really have that great of an idea popping up when I had an army sitting there. I think we're okay. Yeah. There we go. Well, that should solve the problem of dealing with the rebels for a little bit. Actually, speaking of rebels and such, no, we don't have any overextension, and I will spend some of our points to up stability. I know you don't really have to, usually, as a big nation. Oh, hey, we have a new heir. She's not fantastic. Emma is a 1, 2, 3. Easy as ABC. And yes, I know that's not actually how the song goes. It's the other way around, but... she has the benefit of being a strong heir, I would imagine, right? Yeah, that's fine. I will even endure regency if I must, just so long as I have an heir. So I can't, I don't stand to lose all that much. I don't stand to lose all that much anyway, because as a human player you can never be booted out of the game like you could in CK2 if all of your family line died. You would still play as the nation, but I'd like to keep our line going. So what is this? Nobles demand the old rights, to have lots of autonomy or to tell them no and lose stability. I just upped that, but that means I was justified in spending those points. So I'm going to say no and do what I want. Oh, hello. So this is another one of those events that I wrote. So we've got rebellious sentiment in the provinces. With an empire so vast and so many different cultures within it, conflict is almost inevitable. In the outer provinces, the minorities are beginning to feel that they are not represented in the councils that assist the throne in ruling. A rabble-rousing troublemaker has managed to gather to him a considerable amount of support. Wipe them out. All of them. So I wrote this event mainly because, well, in Victoria 2, rebels are challenging. In EU4, once you get to a certain size, rebels are just mildly irritating. Not these guys. These guys, they will scale. I've triggered the event before, multiple times, and it ends up having something like a 50 stack pop out. And they get a good general. So let's see. What have we got here? We need to mobilize. So I'm going to send everything we got at these guys. And then you can return home once you're done. You can return home once you're done. And you're actually already on rebel stomping duty, but I just took you off of it, didn't I? Because I'm an idiot. So you can return back there after you're done. What is this? Oh, we're not very far ahead in military tech. You would think that I'd have remembered that. Well, we will research the carbine. Or the carbine, depending on your pronunciation. I like that the description is also suitably short. The carbine was a shorter form of the musket. And I'm nearly 100% sure that they did that on purpose. So, let's see, that's not what I wanted. We are going to replace our cavalry with gallop cavalry. And what's the difference between these guys and the previous ones? The Swedish army developed these fellows, and they are Swedish gallop cavalry. Although still armed with pistols, they did not discharge the pistols as preliminary to shock action, but as part of the charge itself. Oh, okay. Sounds like a Gustavus Adolphus thing. And so is this one, apparently. The leather cannon used by the Swedes had a particular weakness which made it highly impractical. Really? Why? Well, read on. Consisting of a narrow copper tube covered in leather strapping and rope, its wrapping caused the cannon to overheat. Oh. Well, that's interesting. It's the first light field artillery. Not bad. And on that note, I'm going to call this session to a close because I do actually want to decide what I want to do with Denmark. I have an idea. And actually, it was the thing that I was just going to do what I wanted with it. But I'll put it up for a vote, although I'll reserve the right to overrule you on this one particular decision. But the vote will be, do we, because we can do this, you can release nations as vassal states, but they have to have a province capital, like the capital of their nation, which in this case is this province here, has to be your culture. So what I was thinking of doing is, because I don't particularly want to rule Scandinavia, is just releasing Denmark back into the wild, because it'll put a Dahakor on the throne, and they can go do their thing. So that will be the vote. Do we release Denmark, or do we not release Denmark? I'm kind of in favor of releasing it, because I don't really want Scandinavia. I'd like to see Scandinavia form, and maybe have it be under our dynasty, but I don't want to personally rule it. Anyway, until next time, this has been me, Grey Hunter, saying thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next